Stories from 3 Simple Steps is an interview series based on the book 3 Simple Steps by New York Times bestselling author Trevor Blake. This video series is produced and hosted by Allison Phillips, a fellow 3 Simple Steps reader and the creator of storiesfrom3simplesteps.com. In this interview series, readers volunteered to share their experiences of how the powerful daily practices in the book 3 Simple Steps have positively affected and in some cases radically changed their careers, their businesses, and their lives. Wherever in the world you are, we hope that this story inspires you to create an even better life experience and a greater positive impact in this world.
Hey everybody, it's Allison Phillips here doing another 3 Simple Steps interview. I have with me on the line here Darrol Phillips, and Darrol is from Washington, and we're going to check in with him to see what his experience was with 3 Simple Steps. Hi Darrol, welcome to the call.
Hello, good to be here.
Okay.
Good to be talking to you.
Awesome. So let's get started by letting our listeners know and our viewers know, how did you hear about 3 Simple Steps, and how long ago was it?
It was actually last summer when I was visiting in Virginia, a daughter over there, and I was in a library, and I saw the magazine Intelligent Optimist. And of course, it got my attention, picked it up within a few months, I think actually 3 or 4 months, I decided to join it, and then there was talk about Trevor Blake doing a 3 Simple Step class, and of course I used that as my one free class, and it was a great, that's where it started.
Ah, okay. And so you bought the book right then?
I actually can't remember that, if I bought the book before.
Oh, you attended the class. Okay, I see. Okay, right. Awesome. So when did you start reading the book, or is the class your only experience with 3 Simple Steps?
Oh, no, I've read the book and
okay.
took extensive notes on it, and I think right after the class or during the class I got it.
Okay.
Maybe before the
got it.
Before the class I got it.
Okay. And have you read other books like 3 Simple Steps?
I don't know if I would say like 3 Simple Steps.
Mm-hmm.
I have, for 30 years, I have been reading, what I call peak performance, goal setting, yada yada, those type of books. And this has been like nothing else I've ever read.
Ah, so what was most enlightening for you in reading it?
Well, just the thought I became convinced that Trevor Blake, through reading all these biographies, really discovered what these people, very successful or people who really did some amazing things with their lives, what they were doing, and then kind of, figured out what they were doing as far as physics, quantum physics, and how they were shaping and creating their own reality. And I just thought that was amazing. Very, very powerful.
Mm. And so did you start implementing the 3 steps right away? What was the experience like for you?
Oh, yes, I jumped right in.
Okay.
I was at a place in my life where, I have a lot of freedom and big life change happening, so it was just perfect timing for me.
And when you were reading 3 Simple Steps and implementing it and getting all involved in it, in your mind, were you thinking mostly about affecting things in your personal life, or were you thinking about affecting things in a business? Where were you at the time?
Actually, both. I limited myself to 7 intentions, and they were both business and life in general. I guess mainly in life, actually.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Awesome. So what was it like going through the 3 steps and making them a part of your day-to-day life?
Well, this was like, I can't say it was creative. It just fit so well. I had experience in meditation and meditating and yoga in the past, and so I loved, something that was pushing me, encouraging me to, meditate every day because I knew the power of meditation.
Mm-hmm.
And then I loved nature, and I'm from Michigan. In the last 5 years, I was living in Detroit, and that was there's so much more opportunity out here in Washington to enjoy nature, and so it was just wow. I can't wait to get out in the woods or do whatever I'm doing as far as nature, connecting with nature.
Okay, so those parts really resonated with you. nature and meditating?
I figure it's the two most important things to make 3 Simple Steps work, in my mind. That and mentality control, of course.
Yeah, what was your connection with nature? Where did the importance of that fit into your life?
Well, I've always loved nature. I feel like actually it's a face of God. One face, I think there's 3 faces of God without getting into that, but that's one way a person can experience God or the spiritual is in nature. And just, I'm less than an hour from Mount Rainier National Park and Mount Rainier. That in itself is a life-changing experience. So this, encouraged me to get out there and enjoy it and connect with. And then, Trevor Blake talked on, I think it was in the class, about what he does out in nature, just really connecting with the trees and talking to nature and without saying anything more. I could really enjoy it. Let me just say, really, really enjoying being in nature. Like I've never done before in my life, and I've always been, camper and did that type of a thing.
And what is the impact that you feel nature has on you when you're out there?
Well, I feel like I'm really connecting with the universe or the nature, however you want to put it. And I do get some amazing ideas when I'm out there. It's just incredible, the ideas I come up with.
Awesome. Okay. So let's talk about the principle of becoming a master of your mentality. Tell us a little bit about where you were before three simple steps with regard to that, and what impact that had on you as you really embraced that principle through the reading and experience you had attending a 3 Simple Steps class.
Well, I would start off by saying, I have no more negative thoughts. So I just always think positive thoughts all the time. I am just kidding, totally.
I was going to say, give me what you got.
Still, I'm taking every morning. So, to me, I have on my business card the praxis, the Praxis, which means the practice of something. And so I look at it like this is, one other thing I have as my praxis that I'm continuing to work on. And the one thing that really, essentially, what was so helpful with what the book taught and Blake was that you don't have to do it perfectly. Just, make a little adjustments in your thinking, or maybe think a little less of the negative stuff, a little more of the, what you want, can have a tremendous influence. And that's what I feel I'm working towards and, doing.
Awesome.
Yeah, it is.
It is awesome. What about quiet time? Because you mentioned that you did meditation before, so quiet time wasn't entirely new to you, but any shifts or changes that you experienced in the last year or so, the last few months that you've been doing 3 Simple Steps with regard to quiet time?
Well, in the first several months, I guess, I think I started this in the summer of last year. I was, hit and miss, probably missed, a couple to several days during the week, or during each month. I guess I don't think I'm answering your question, though, but...
No, you are. Go ahead.
Okay. So it is important to, just something that really motivated me to do it every day, which, I've really gotten better and better at that. And discipline, like Trevor Blake talks about, it really takes discipline to do that. So I'm, being very consistent doing that in the morning. And then I bought the audio that really was helpful, because at first I was, it was challenging to, deal with the thoughts and, stay there for the, 20 minutes. But the audio that he offers was really helpful. I'm still using that. I use it every other day. Then the odd days I just set my timer for 20 minutes. And it's really, I think I'm achieving or feeling a lot of those benefits from just meditating in itself.
And what are some of those benefits that you're experiencing?
Well, just I think just more relaxed, and when you get up from there and it's like, wow, okay, I'm ready to tackle the day. I really don't know, I can't say how it's affecting my thinking or affecting the reality. I don't know. I can't say that. I do. After that, write out my 6 intentions I have now, and I love it.
So what was that experience like? You mentioned writing out your intentions, because I've interviewed some people who felt like it was a little bit challenging to stick with it, the writing of intentions, because the writing didn't come that easily to them. What was your experience like? Was it easy for you to stick with the writing of your intentions each day, and has it had an impact on you, just writing out your intentions each day as well?
Well, I believe it does. Like I said, I don't know for sure how this is all affecting, my life or my future. It feels good. I generally, when I do take the quiet time, I do sit there. I have a notebook, kind of a special bound notebook that I write in the 6 intentions, and then I write them, and then just take a few minutes and just sit back and close my eyes and imagine those, and so it's been part of taking quiet time. Sometimes I do just write the first one, because that obviously is the most, in my mind, the most important one to me. But generally, I write all 6 or it was 7 of them, and take a couple seconds after each one, and just imagine that.
Okay. And in terms of the outcomes that you have experienced, if any yet, I don't know, you've only been doing it for a few months, I don't know, some people have immediate outcomes, but any specific examples of things that have worked out for you so far as a result of using 3 simple steps?
Well, I had 7 intentions, like I think I mentioned. 2 of them has become reality, how I will put it, and I replaced 1, so I have 6 now. And I know this is, I'm doing this thinking it might help somebody, so I would like to, one's kind of personal and one's kind of like, well, anybody could do that, but I'll share those 2. However, the other 2 or 3 parts of the 2 or 3 others are already coming into, I'm seeing in my life. But the 2 that have completely there, and I'm not, they're not an intention I'm writing every day, is when I came out here in the summer of last year, a few different reasons encouraged me or influenced me to want to buy a truck. I've never had a truck before in my life. I've always kind of wanted one. And to make a short story of it, I went back to Michigan when I had decided to move out here and bought a brand new Chevy Silverado 4-wheel drive truck. And I'm just loving that truck. I'm actually sitting in it right now. It's
awesome.
Amazing. I had bought a truck years ago. But that was one thing. And the other was I had a really, really difficult, toxic relationship with a daughter, and was trying to, just figure out how to end that and get to a better relationship. And it was very hard. I really was trying to work on that for 2 years. And actually, it just about a little over a month ago, it is there. The relationship I wanted, my intention, what I was calling my relationship intention to her and to others, family members, and I'm there. And boy, what a relief that is.
Wow.
Yeah, that was amazing. It could help me with that.
Wow. It's cool. So you had a sort of a material manifestation and also a relationship manifestation as well. Powerful, very, very powerful. And
you can create, like Trevor Blake talks about. You're a wizard. You can decide whatever you want. Boy, you can bring it into your life. It's just amazing, amazing stuff.
It is amazing, and we truly are wizards. I was saying that to somebody the other day. Was that surprising to you? Did it feel surprising? Did any of it feel like, oh my gosh, I just created this?
No, I don't think that. It kind of hit me out of the, kind of slapped me in the face when I realized one day, and I was writing out my intentions, that one relationship intention was there. And that was great to realize that and feel that.
And share with our listeners, if you will, when you talk about that relationship really manifesting in a way that you wanted to, and coming about in the way that you wanted it to, did you feel like you had to do anything specific? Did you receive any particular ideas along the lines of, or along with writing your intentions and all of that? Did anything come to you, or did it just sort of manifest in the way that you want it? Because I've had people, say that, well, I got this insight, and that is what actually caused the change or the shift to happen. And then other people are like, I didn't do a thing. It just unfolded right before my eyes. What was your experience with the relational changes that you saw?
Um, I I was thinking about this relationship quite a bit. I'm almost obsessively because it was so weighty on me in my life,
Mm.
and so I don't. What I was doing was figuring out what I wanted in that relationship. I don't know if that's
Mhm.
what you're
Yes. Yes.
asking about.
Mhm.
And I came up with, okay, this is what I want in this relationship. And then
Mhm.
another thing that Trevor talks about in his book that was just really, really powerful for me, and I've applied it to this and to other things, is the idea of reacting forward. So whenever some, big drama came and dropped in my lap, I would look at it and, or a problem that she was having, I would look at it like, okay, I'm going to deal with this in this way, but I'm reacting forward to that intense relationship. It was just really helpful.
And say more about that. What did reacting forward look like for you?
Well, it's you essentially, rather than getting all upset and angry and uh, discouraged, you just figure out a way. Okay, how am I going to take what just happened and react and let that move me with actions or thoughts to that intention I'm wanting,
Mm.
rather than just being discouraged or just giving up or taking
Right.
two steps
Right.
back. You
Uh-huh.
figure out a step you can take towards that intention.
Okay. And so you're thinking that thought instead of the thought of frustration or disappointment or whatever.
Yeah, it's, rather than
Mm.
just, I mean, otherwise it's pretty personal, that relationship, but rather than just being so overwhelmed or just upset, you
Mhm.
figure out, okay, I'm not going to go backwards. I'm still moving towards that intention. This is
Mm.
what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to think now to get me there.
Mhm. Awesome.
If that
That's
makes
really
sense.
cool. That totally makes sense. And
Right.
sometimes people have challenges here or there with implementing the three simple steps. Have you had any, or has it been pretty smooth sailing for you in sticking with the three steps?
It's been pretty smooth sailing. Like I have a lot of freedom in my life right now, and this is
Mm-hmm.
I've always loved books, and this I've got 10 books I think act like I'm trying to apply to my life right now. But
Mm-hmm.
this is by far the number one and my focus. So it just fits in. I love
Mm.
what it takes. I think Trevor Blake. I took the class, and I mean he's just really revealed to me and will reveal to others, I think, a lot of truth about the world and the universe that you really don't find easily out there.
Yeah, yeah, that is so true. That is so true.
And
And
he's very sincere about what he
mhm.
wants to help people, and
Mhm. Mhm.
I really appreciate the whole thing.
Absolutely. And in dealing with your family members and others that may have been around you during the time that you were implementing three simple steps, has anyone noticed a change in you and told you what those changes were that they saw in you?
No, not really. Simply because I've moved out to Washington, and
Mm.
I don't have there's no people I knew before, and no
Oh,
family
okay.
members out here.
I
Yeah.
see. Okay. Okay. And we're on the last question here. So, what recommendations would you have for others who may be considering using the three simple steps?
Uh, I would just say get the book, read it, and take the class, and really apply it to your life. There's nothing, in my mind, as powerful as this to make changes in your life, and big changes. So if you want to change your life, just like Trevor Blake talked about, get out of quicksand. Really, this is your ticket.
It's interesting you mentioned quicksand. Were you experiencing anything that you would have considered to be quicksand?
uh, Not really. I've been on a kind of a road trip for a year without getting into the story of that, and
Mm.
enjoying. I was telling people I've never been so excited about my life and just looking forward to the future. But then this dropped in my lap, and so it's like taking me to 10 steps up past that. So I'm just having a great time.
You sound it.
Really.
You sound it. That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking a few minutes out of your busy schedule. But it sounds like you're having more fun than anything else right now.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Washington, what a great state. What a great state.
Really? And how long have you been in Washington?
I just moved out here in November.
Oh, okay, so pretty new. Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks again for sharing your experience with Three Simple Steps with us. Very, very much appreciated. Profound stories and shifts and changes you've shared. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you.
Take care.
Okay, you too. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining us for another interview in the Stories from 3simplesteps.com series. If you feel this story would inspire and encourage someone you know, we invite you to send them to storiesfrom3simplesteps.com. If you are implementing 3 Simple Steps and you feel inspired to share your experience, we would love to interview you and have your experience inspire others. Simply go to storiesfrom3simplesteps.com and click the button to share your story.